okay? Okay, relax. You're gonna be fine. What happened? What happened?
I got hit by a wave.
Okay, relax. Relax. Okay? You float for a while. Get your breath, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you. Just take your time. We're all right here.
Okay.
Alright? We're fine here. Now, keep watching those little waves, okay? They may come, okay? Some waves may come. Alright? When they come, you just have to put your head down a little bit and wait. Alright? We're going to wait here a little bit. Hold on. You're doing fine.
Okay.
Don't fall off. There's rocks over here. Relax. We're going to push our way in. Doing fine. Relax. That's it. Put your feet down. Put your feet down. Okay. He's got a problem. Can you note him on your board? Hey, come on. Get on the board here. There you go. Alright now? Let's get you in there. Let's get him in. Help rig. Take your mask off your face. You're almost there.
So with the season winding down, let's take a look back at how the sport of surf ski began in part 1 of the history of the surf ski. As gladiators of the sea, lifesavers ensure peace of mind and guard the beaches with a vast knowledge and expertise that comes only from an understanding of the ocean's temperamental nature. When lifesaving began in the early 1900s, volunteers who had undergone minimal training simply patrolled the beaches on weekends and public holidays to ensure the safety of those in the surf. A lifesaver's job, his specialized training and competitive instinct has evolved into a full-on sporting practice with organized events and advances in technology and equipment. The creation of the surf ski further enhanced the surf lifesaver's efficiency and also gave rise to the recreation and sporting activity known as surf ski racing. Being a light recreational watercraft, the surf ski borrows design elements from a kayak or wave ski using a long narrow displacement type hull and a sit-on-top cockpit being controlled by a foot pedal operated rudder. The earliest surf skis date back as far as 1946, when they were first noted by surf lifesaving organizations. Originally designed as a means to rescue drowning swimmers, the benefits and unparalleled efficiency of the surf ski were soon recognized. In 1960, the first foam surf skis were manufactured, being custom carved out of expanded polystyrene. After increasing demand for surf ski became apparent in the 1970s, this practice changed and glass fiber molds were used. At the same time, surf ski design diverged into two categories, one being the life-saving spec surf ski, the other the long-distance racing surf ski. Surf skis were quickly introduced into competitions locally as well as New Zealand and Australia. The evolution into long-distance surf ski races began in South Africa in the 1950s, where a 46-kilometre event from Scottsboro to Brighton was held in 1958. South Africa has pioneered some of the world's toughest races too, and the 240-kilometre long race from Port Elizabeth to East London has been held every second year since 1972. Long-distance surf ski racing has in recent time grown exponentially and spread to other parts of the world, and with a growing interest in the sport, a need for competitive and always advancing equipment has come to the fore. Today, almost every manufacturer involved in surf ski racing have an intimate knowledge and personal connection to the sport, many having raced themselves or been involved in the evolution of the sport since its inception. South Africa's Snowy Harvey, who built the first ever double surf ski, was one of the originators of the sport and is a true legend known for his pioneering contribution to surf ski racing. Further emphasizing the modern day advancement in technology is the fact that the craft back then were made from balsa wood and hand laminated. Later, with the invention of petrochemicals and styrofoam, they would hand shape each ski, then ride them, try them out and find the results, and then go back and start again, sometimes taking 10 attempts until one craft was good to go. Long-distance surf ski paddling does indeed have a rich history, and where manufacturing legends in the surf ski fraternity are recognized as pioneers, their predecessors would undoubtedly be the true forefathers of the sport.
Conditions, the wind, and the current was coming out of the northwest, and it was cutting along the lakeshore and between Little Presque Isle Point and Little Presque Isle Island. With the sea conditions out there, they were anywhere between 3 to 6 foot seas. The waves were causing a large current to run along the lakeshore that was ripping through the point in the island, and that's what caused them to come off of a shoaling.
Were they on sand or rocks when they were, was it true they were waiting?
They were crossing between Little Presque Isle Point and the island, Little Presque Isle.
And then they got swept off their feet by current?
Current in the sea state.
The waves were...
They were between 3 to 6 foot.
For people who think it's nothing, just come and have fun in Lake Superior, what should they think about?
The message I would say to the public, if you're going to be in Lake Superior, especially this time of the year, the water temp is right around 50 degrees. Hypothermia still sets in whether or not the outside temperature is 40 degrees or if we're reaching up towards 80. hypothermia is still a big factor. That cold water, when you hit it and you submerge in it, you get a gasp reflex. Your body is instinctive. And your body's going to want to take in a big gasp of air, and you're going to do that regardless if your head's above water or below water. And the only thing that's going to help with that is wearing a life jacket if you're on the beach or having some form of flotation device with you. My message would be, if people plan to cross over to Little Presque Isle, is to go with a life jacket. If you're going to be swimming and you're going to be offshore, take a life jacket with you. That's going to help us as rescuers. If you go in the water or get pulled out by a current, it's going to keep you up on the surface, and it'll make us able to find you.
And speaking of that, do you have an estimate, or have you ever heard about, how fast these currents are? And second of all, isn't it true that when you're in one of those currents, that you should just not try to fight it and let yourself out?
The speed of the currents here, they shift with the wind and sea state. Depending on the weather conditions, currents will shift around. The best thing to do if you get caught in a current is not swim against it. You want to swim off to the side of it. You want to try to swim out of it, not try to fight it.